All right, greetings everyone. Welcome to another round of amazing and awesome Final Fantasy Randomizer. My name is Files, and I'm joined by my good friend Zar. Zar, how's it going this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to this rematch after what we saw yesterday. It's good to get you back in the booth here, Files, and I'm eager to listen to everything you have to tell us this evening.
Yeah, it'll be a good time regardless of the quality that I bring. But who cares about what I'm bringing? I care about what ichbinmiah and xIceblue are bringing, because this is the shocking conclusion to a best-of-3 match. We saw the first match and each player taking one round there, and this is going to be the decider who moves on to the winner's bracket here.
It is. This is the Clutch Game 3. Just to get everybody up to date, yesterday these two went at it, and xIceblue encountered a loss of his file. He's playing on hardware, and we think somehow it got cleared. Maybe he might have reset too quickly. Others are convinced it was due to him sacrificing the Vorpal, but we'll see what happens this evening. Hopefully that will not happen again, and we can get a complete match.
I suspect that Maya sent his goons over to xIceblue's location with his scissors and was cutting wires. That's the kind of dedication we have in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community.
Best community ever.
But yeah, as you can see, we've got the party selection here is a forced double fighter red mage, white mage, which is pretty close to the Files special of old. I've always been a big fan of the red mages. They bring some good kind of jack of all trades to the table. But when it comes to the physical damage, it's pretty hard to argue with a fighter with the kind of variety of early game items that they can bring to bear on their enemies.
It is. They also have that ability to tank and can deal decent damage early should you not find any good spells. There may be some black magic that is not seen in this seed, as we only have a red mage. It looks like our runners are just about ready to go here, and we're going to get this show on the road.
Yeah, we've got some pretty excellent naming conventions going so far here. I'm enjoying it.
I'm privy to Boop myself.
Who? I mean, you could say that name forwards or backwards, Zar, and it's equally as amusing. All right, so immediately xIceblue rearranging his party. We're gonna see what he opts to find here. Right, nothing super exciting in the weapon and armor shops there. Level 1 Fade! Oh, it's gonna be one of those seeds!
Wow, we have a level 1 Warp too. Interestingly enough, yesterday we had a level 1 Fade.
Now, jog my memory, Zar. When Fade is in slot number 2, I believe that is White Mage only first? It's heresy that I can't remember this.
I believe that's correct. You will need a promotion for the Red Wizard to obtain that spell.
But for now, that you'll have an unusual white mage damage carry here. And so Garland is going to super die to this Fade.
It's Garland in stereo.
Or not. A really low Fade roll, and Garland still survives one slot. Yikes. Alright, so we've gotten the item here. And they're taking their Garland money.
Yeah, Ice immediately in to buy some weapons. Maybe some armor? No, he opts out of the armor.
I mean, luckily, level 1 spells are so cheap in the vanilla game that even the randomizer can't do a whole lot to them in terms of making them very expensive. So, Zar, why don't you give us a just kind of a high-level overview of what these flags that these guys are playing on for this third and final match look like? Any highlights that jump out at you?
Well, the main highlight is that most everything is vanilla. Aside from vanilla, we only have shops of magic levels, shops, RNG table, treasures, main NPC items, and we have a price scale shuffle of 100 to 400%. We have a 10% increase per key item, and an experience boost of 2.5 plus 0. So The
Pretty reasonable.
The 10% increase per item is going to be really important in getting key items.
So are you telling me that if you were to fire up Final Fantasy NES at home, just normal with your cartridge, and you go to the Temple of Fiends, that you're going to find a ship in a chest? Is that... That's not normal.
It's absolutely possible. If you want to try out the randomizer, you have a plethora of options. It's almost mind-boggling how many options the devs have given us now.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Another flag of note is that weapon fixes are off. So the extra critical hit from the Vorpal or the Katana will not be activated in this seed.
All right, but what is not normal is the entrance to the final floor of the Sky Castle, which I believe ichBinmiah is gonna maybe try to get some farming done with Fade. Nope, he's gonna get cremated to death.
This is a good strat. If you can get a decent fight down, you'll get a lot of gold, a lot of experience. And I know he wants levels for those Fade charges.
Oh wow, that white mage just dodging like a champ. That was that was impressive, actually. All right, if this last Fade can get off a kill or two. All right, just needs one more to land.
We had a question from chat about ichBinmiah sacrificing the Vorpal again. He has pledged that if he finds it, he's going to do it again. So, like many humans, they cannot yet comprehend the ways of the Vorpal.
It's the longer you stare at the Vorpal, like your mind can't comprehend the fourth dimension, so you slowly become insane.
The fourth dimension is a hell of a place, but Vorpal is more of a fifth dimensional item.
Oh wow, so it's so if you can play 4D chess, you're still not up to the task of wielding the mighty Vorpal sword. You heard it here first, folks.
Wielding
meanwhile, ichbinmiah, opting not to spend a lot of time in the Sky Castle, instead using those Fade charges on some really innocent imps who never did anything to anybody.
Question
Matoya's
about...
Cave, I think that was Melman, wasn't it?
I believe so. We got a question in chat about, is this how the original game is played? Absolutely not. There are vanilla aspects to these flags, but as you can see, we found the ship in a box, so that's definitely not vanilla.
Take a look inside. It's a ship in a box. Also, some of the entrances have also been shuffled as well. But I mean, that's the beauty of the randomizer. Every single time you play this game, it's fresh and new. But you can still apply the knowledge you have as a kid, grinding the heck out of this super grindy game, and then you can apply it to new situations. Wow, Life 2, also in slot 2 for level 5 magic. And we got nothing crazy exciting in the black magic for level 5. Maybe Lit 2 is meh.
Yeah, I'd definitely give that a meh. We got a question in chat. Is this the rematch? This is. These runners agreed to a rematch after yesterday's unfortunate unfolding, and we are now witnessing it.
But steel bracelet there, kind of expensive for what it is. When you've got two fighters and you have that wide variety of equipment that you can put on them, you don't have to settle for really expensive silver bracelet, but you can spend just a little bit on stuff like iron shields, especially this early in the seed.
Yeah, that's another aspect here, is if they don't find a lot of good fighter equipment early, they may be spending a little bit more gold to get that fighter equipment.
Yeah, we'll have to see what some of these other entrances turn out to be in terms of what entrances they could lead to. That could be chests or what have you. All right, Provoca is Crescent Lake. We already knew that.
CPAC slowing ice down. Excuse me, ichbinmiah down a little bit here, as he is sailing to the south and to the west.
Heading over to Elfland / whatever actually is in Elfland. You can see ichbinmiah putting those level 1 Fade charges to good use. Party getting to level 3. Alright, so the back of Titan Cave is where Elfland is, and the wrong castle is in Elfland Castle. All right, Princess giving out a canoe. And the king, king giving you some, here, take my daughter out on a date. Here's 8 grand.
Certainly more than they gave up yesterday. They gave up less than, I think, 300 gold yesterday.
Yikes. You can't even buy 2 tickets and a popcorn with that amount of gold anymore, Czar.
I'm telling you, this fiat currency is a scam.
Exactly. Well, see, that's why the world of Final Fantasy has moved to a gold standard. Everything's gold pieces. That king has got his whole treasure vault underneath his mattress just filled with gold.
Video games had this figured out long ago.
Exactly. Speaking of having things figured out, Maya's checking out the back of Titan's Cave. Silver armor, not terrible. That was a big pile. Okay, a lot of gold in Titan's Cave, actually. That's pretty nice. There's nothing worse than a low gold kind of starvation seed early when you're got shuffled entrances, because there's just a little bit less for crutches when you don't know where your towns are. So having a big old pile of money, much like in real life, Czar, having a big pile of money can make things easier.
Indeed, it is the magic of the earth with the money.
Speaking of magic of the earth, we've got chat correctly pointing out that not a lot of clutch warp usage going on in this run. You could be saving precious seconds here.
I'm a little surprised at that, actually. I mean, gold is tight, but not tight enough to stop at the inn and recharge your charges real quick.
Yeah, although really, where's the once they leave Crescent Lake / Onrak, or not Onrak, once they leave the Crescent Lake Provoca area, they don't really have a close-by inn, so maybe they're just kind of holding on to those charges. Alright, well, we found the other side of Titan's Cave. Maya clearly spending time writing down these entrances.
Good notes are absolutely important. Welcome, Will Cleosis, Anna, Danny, all of our regulars to the chat. Good to see everyone this evening. We enjoy you coming out for our little rematch.
Alright, xIceblue about to get his date money. You know, canoeing is not a bad date idea. If you and someone you're interested in want to go out on a canoe date, just talk to the King of Kynaria. He'll spot you.
It's good to beat a king.
It is. Alright, meanwhile on the left side of your screen, we're about to see what is in the dreaded Marsh Cave. It is Elfland! Semi-close to vanilla. This is a great spot to find early in the seed because there's a lot of magic shops. Rank 3 black magic, just Brack and Ice. Not super exciting, although Brack can be useful. Life, pretty good. Well, you take life. And when you're rolling in this much date money cash, you don't mind spending 1,000 gold on life.
You're living your best life.
Well, in this case, you're living 2 best lives. Because, you know, both of your mages can learn it. Oh, Bane was in level 3. Dropped the ball on that one. Bane, not too bad. Although in terms of spell accuracy, Brack a little bit better than Bane. Shoutouts to my boy Split Punched for teaching me the ways of Brack back in the day. Alright, Harm 4 and Exit. Not bad for rank 4 white magic. You have to be careful not to put Exit in the very first spot, though. You don't want to accidentally cast it. Ice 3, though, and oh, wow! Ice 3, Fast, and Temper. And Exit, and Harm 4, all on rank. Rank 4 magic is definitely the winner so far. And the worst part is, I believe Maya already foolishly spent spell slots before he saw the plethora of amazingness that was level 4 black magic.
With that selection of level 4 magic, you're going to have to think about what you want on your red mage for sure.
Wow, and gold bracelet also. Elfland is just rolling in amazing items. Really expensive gold bracelet, though. The king gave spending money, but he didn't give that much spending money. I'm really curious. It was hard to tell when he was menuing so fast if Maya actually bought a lot of level 4 spells. I'm curious what he spent his slots and money on, because he was just going through menus so fast. Did you catch it, Czar?
I did not. He was
Yeah.
flying through menu. It's hard to catch up with these runners sometimes. They're just so good in menus.
Yeah, I mean, menuing is definitely a skill. I mean, in any RPG, being able to menu correctly is a very important skill, and that is very much still true in this one. All right, we're gonna see what xIceblue does. Does he go for harm 4? He does. Oh, and he spends it on Cure 3. All right, well, I guess that's his white mage, so you know.
Yeah, white mage you can load up here without any worry. Red mage you're gonna have to say, oh, what do I want?
Fast and temper are definitely excellent, but early game, Ice 3 is probably going to get you more places than Fast would. But
oh, and he resets.
Yeah, he does. I think he saw that Ice 3 and was like, you know what, I don't need to spend all of my money on the white mage. I don't know. We'll have to see what he does on the right side of your screen when he runs all the way back to Marsh Cave Entrance / Elfland. We're gonna have to see what he decides to spend his money on differently. He's paying for this reset. He's in a part of the encounter table, seems to be quite frequent. He's definitely gonna be spending a minute or two just getting back to where he was.
Question in chat: can you evolve via chest? Well, it's part of it, as you have to find the tail in chest, but you do have to still track down Bahamut to actually get the class change.
Maybe he meant that can you evolve as a human being and become a better person by opening more chests? And I think the answer to that is yes. Alright, EXPs. Wow, hit pretty hard, although I guess that fighter didn't have a ton of health. Whew. Alright, this Fade needs to do some work here. Should kill both of them even with low rolls, and it does.
Good chunk of experience and gold there.
Yeah, that's what Maya did not spend time in Sky Castle like his opponent did, getting a few extra levels on his casters. So those are definitely levels that he will appreciate. We're going to see what the item is on. I never know how to pronounce it. Is it Bikey? Is it Bicky? Is it Bartholomew?
I think it really depends on where you're from. I just save all the trouble. I call him Bick.
That sounds good. Although it sounds vaguely inappropriate, but either way, we're killing ourselves 9 pirates here. All right, we got Bikire. Chat's telling me Bicky. I even got one brave soul who just calls him Steve. You know what? I can respect that. All right, and the pirate, you basically beat him up and stole his lunch money, so not a whole lot there on the pirate.
Pirates, it's been rough lately in Highlander Tournament land. They just do not have much for you.
xIceblue seems to be having his main level 4 fighter seems to have only 12 hit points.
Uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem then.
Well, maybe he just enjoys. I mean, he's level 4. He's got 12 hit points. Maybe Tail really just enjoys, you know, things that are multiples of 4 or 2. Well, xIceBlue's got an option. I don't know if there's something wrong with his EverDrive or what, but he might have to turn that fighter into a dead body. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Either way, these runners are soldiering on. They got a race to finish.
I don't want to say it's the curse of the Vorpal, everyone, but
you're saying that it is.
I'm saying that it cannot be dismissed as a possibility.
It's dark mystic energies. Have destroyed better men than I, and it clearly is happening to xIceblue here. All right, we got just to keep you guys in the loop, we got a little bit of chit chat going on here in the SRL race room. Just making sure things are going well with everybody. We'll keep you guys in the loop. But in the meantime, we've got some fishes that are just getting destroyed by the holy power of light. Meanwhile, Maya is he's on a canoe trip. I suspect he's heading toward the volcano to check out that entrance.
It's like Ice is opting to continue on here. He might have to employ 3-man strats. I've given the runners the option here to either re-roll now or continue on.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, you know, given the layout of the seed with what the spells have been, you've got 2 guys that could cast life, and having 1 buffed up fighter. That's not a terrible way to kind of spend your seed on this particular one. The second fighter could very well be superfluous anyway, depending on what your strategies are.
It's not a, you know, mortal blow here in this race, but it's definitely a blow.
Well, Maya is attempting to blow these fish out of the water with Zap, but only successfully exiled 2 of the 6 of them to the 4th dimension, so... How was that segue? I really tried, I think, too hard on that one.
You try hard, you.
Alright, so xIceblue making his way, checking out the spells here. Pretty much garbage. Maya snubbed his nose at even just 1 EXP, decided it wasn't worth his time. Alright, we've got talk of Friday Night Fish Fries in the chat. It's making me feel good about my Midwestern heritage in the United States. Good work, guys. Meanwhile, it is a camping party on Maya's side of the screen on the left there. Buying out those tents. Really good to have for overworld movement. Resetting your position in the fight queue. Very important. And I don't believe those were forest pirates. I believe that was actually the marsh background, Zara. I don't know if you saw that. I don't think that was the forest. I think that was the marsh background. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again.
I believe it was the marsh background.
Not marsh cave though, because that's gross. Alright, we've got Maya just fighting these fish. The man just wants to canoe down a river. And they will not leave him be. Alright, we're getting close to our volcano entrance here. With just ship and canoe, this or ice cave, definitely entrances you want to check out. xIceblue making up some time. Maya had been ahead of him for a little bit just because he hadn't spent the time in Sky Castle, but xIceblue has managed to sneak up on him a little bit here. And we've got ourselves a vanilla volcano here, I think. All right, you went from one entrance of one dungeon to the entrance of another one. I can't handle it, Zar.
It's overwhelming, isn't it? I don't know what it is with these two. When ichbinmiah and xIceblue race, there's just some strange things that happen.
Well, I'll tell you what's not strange is that pro ring is pretty nice to find. In addition to a delicious, I believe, 8 defense, does provide some protection against specific spells that can be nasty. Alright, okay. Maya taking a reset there.
Looks like he was having a good think for a minute.
Yeah, he was in the tank for a second there. Alright, and meanwhile, the other fighter, xIceblue's level 6 fighter now at 65 hit points. He might just have been robbed of 120 health. Who knows? The NES works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, what seems to have happened here is the code for the 100th digit is not registering. I've left a message with the devs. We're going to isolate if this is a hardware conflict with his EverDrive, or if this is a problem with the randomizer itself, and rest assured the devs will remedy this immediately.
Oh, yes. But in the meantime, we're still having a great time with this race. Alright, sea snakes in the sea shrine, colored like it's a volcano. Not only is it difficult to say, it's difficult to comprehend.
Those snakes are tying you up there, Files, like Sachinoko in Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah, look, I can't pronounce the names of things. I never learned how to read. Alright, opal helmet and a professional cape. Alright, finally we have Maya's white mage, no longer naked, wearing just a cape. There's a metal picture for you. Wow, we're getting the tour of pretty much every fiend dungeon here. We've had volcano leading into sea shrine, leading into one of the floors of Earth Cave. So we'll have to see. There's a few chests in the bottom of this floor, as well as on the top. All right. No, nothing particularly exciting there. He got more spending money from the king for his date than he got there. Wow, is Maya opting to skip those chests that are behind the trap tile over on the other side? It looks like he is.
Bit of a gamble there.
No, he's going back. I don't know what's real anymore. Maybe he forgot about him. Maybe he just really wanted to see what was on the other part of that entrance.
Yeah, I think the second guesser is what's coming in here. He's like, well, what if something's in there? I gotta go back. It's better to just clear it.
Yeah, especially with loose items being in chests here. And without shuffled enemy scripts or spells, these earths, other than being a little beefy, aren't particularly scary. Maybe he's worried about some melee damage or something. I mean, they die to fade just like anything else does. Ooh, an ice sword. That's a nice find.
Yeah, it looks like Ice's fighter has suddenly regained some hit points here.
The fifth dimension hit points is coming back.
We were talking about it, see? We were talking about it, and that's how it happens. There's all this quantum computing going on and entanglement. It's really eye-opening, isn't it?
It is. The black helicopters are going to be coming for us, Czar. But hopefully we can finish this commentary before they get us.
I'm not too concerned about that. This world is just going to keep on turning.
Alright, so Maya's no worse the wear for taking out those Earths, although his Red Mage's looking a little tired. But he drinks potions like a champ.
These runners now high-fiving out of the Earth room here.
Always nice to see.
Have not found much of anything, really, for progression.
Yeah, we got our ship and canoe early-ish, and it's been kind of a vanilla hunt here in terms of locations, or at least locations on the map to check.
Yeah, we're already 26 minutes in here, and we have found little to nothing.
Well, I mean, isn't the real treasure the friendships that we make along the way, Czar?
That's very true.
Oh, wow. All right, so we've got a real topsy-turvy volcano here. It's half volcano, half sea shrine, half earth cave. I mean, that was 3 halves that I just gave you. Somebody do the math. That's a lot of dungeons. But the armory of the volcano, always nice to find. Lots of chests on this floor. Let's see here. Maya's down to the 20s in potions right now. Alright, heal helmet, nice. Big pile of money, also nice. Gargoyle Ambush, this could be scary. These guys are mean without shuffled scripts and spells, because I believe they cast Cremate Czar? Or is it? Nope, it's Fire 2. Oh god. It burns.
Yeah, it's Fire 2. And Maya's probably just hoping to get this armory looted, get that information, possibly get out with these treasures.
Oh, it's such a long walk back, though.
Fortunately, I believe there is exit available.
That's true. You're not wrong. So I would keep you along, Zard. Remind me of things that are true and factual.
Ice walking out of Earth here.
He is.
Is this White Mage down?
Did he just pull a Files and forget that exit is a spell? Although maybe he didn't buy it. Maybe that was one of the things he didn't buy when he went back, because we were too busy worrying about his fighter's hit points. Does his White Mage not know exit? With shuffled entrances, exit is a really potent spell to have in your arsenal. Next time he goes to cast Fade, we're going to have to keep an eye.
ichbinmiah picking up the floater in the armory. So
there it is.
He will
That's
be
what we like to see.
picking up an airship, and the entire world will be open to these runners very shortly.
And the slab!
As well. And
the light axe. Actually, the Volcano Armory really paying off here. Lots of good stuff.
Loaded.
Yeah, my correctly identifying the light axe is the better of the two there. You know, maybe his White Mage didn't have... Did he have the charges for exit? Don't remember. Either way, floater and slab, definitely a worthy addition to any light warrior's arsenal. Also technically required to beat the game, maybe. Alright, chat let me know. He's got charges, we're still not sure if he bought it.
Bit of a rocky start for both runners, for sure. I think Maya's had a more smooth going. Ice has had wipes and numerous instances here where that have just kind of slowed him down a bit. But as you can see, they're still side by side.
Yeah, Maya definitely got a little bit further in the volcano, but they are shockingly in the same position on the overworld, actually.
Main difference right now is the floater. Maya's going to take to the skies, and the longer it takes Ice to get that floater and catch up to him, the more he's going to build a lead.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just continue to bleed time due to inefficiencies with having to run around with a ship and a canoe. Alright, I don't know if that was coincidence that Maya knew to save exactly one tile before the next fight. I'm going to pretend that he knew that was coming and give him props for it.
Props where props is due. And yes, in the chat, next Marok, this flag set is quite difficult. These runners are veteran runners, they know exactly what they're doing, and even they can run into some problems. You can make a much more pleasant experience with the flags, if you wish.
You say they know what they're doing. No, they know what they're doing. Maya knows what he's doing. He's running back, and he says, I need something that rhymes with feel schmotion, and I need a lot of them. I'm gonna give you a hint, Zar. It was a rhyme for heal potion.
You know, I hear Files is quite a beatboxer, and now he's laying some of them lyrics on us here too. So
I don't know if bad rhymes count, but they sure do. We might even see Maya with all of his money he got from looting the never-ending volcano. He might pick up a few houses as well. With Fade on level 1, it's definitely worth picking up a few of those guys to reset those spell charges.
Yeah, I'm gonna roast Files a bit here. It's been a while since we got him in here, and we want to get him in here again. So,
yeah, exactly. All right, now he's got still a big pile of money, and he wants to go buy Life 2. And you know what? Who can blame him? Now the problem with Life 2 on level 5 is that you do have to get your White Mage quite a few levels before that spell is going to be castable quite frequently.
Buying Life 2, veteran move, Kappa.
I mean, it is the best heal spell in the game. Alright, so Ice making the correct play as far as we know, and going back into Volcano. He really needs to go back in here and pick up that floater so he doesn't bleed any more time. Meanwhile, Maya trying to land directly in the ice cave entrance. Gotta park and walk, buddy. That's like driving your car through the entrance of a Target or a Walmart. Doesn't work that way.
And we find the Mirage Tower first floor is waiting in Ice Cave.
Definitely a good source of checks here. Meanwhile, vampires, paralysis touch vampires. I guess they are unshuffled, so I keep forgetting that. Light Axe definitely putting in the work here. Good job on Maya for remembering to use it. Oh, wow. Correctly guessed the melee weapon vampire to attack for that last kill. That almost never happens.
Got lucky for sure, and probably saved him another bop there.
Yeah, I mean, that could have saved a charge of Fade, too. Alright, Flame Armor. Ooh, White Shirt. I believe items are unshuffled in here for spell casting.
That's
yes.
correct. White Shirt will
we got
cast
ourselves an
Invis
2 White Shirt, so that's a pretty good find. Flame Armor, also pretty good defense for your fighter here.
If he can get out, this was a good check.
Yeah, these guards do not play nice. Ooh, with a clutch run though, yikes. Can he make it to the last chest? Oh, and the cube! Wow! That could throw ice for a turn. Could be tough for ice to get back up there if it turns out that's required.
Yeah, that's a floor that some people tend to skip if they feel they're behind or in a hurry because you can come back to it quickly. We'll see if he checks that.
All right, wow, we got even more chest dense locations. Now, I believe on the right side of the screen, I believe xIceblue is checking chests that ichbinmiah did not, because I believe he went to the armory and then said, "Get me the H out of here."
Yeah, he's checking the hairpin chest.
I'm putting that ice. Oh, wow! Oh, that red mage took it pretty hard. Yikes.
Those fires are not playing around.
No. I mean, luckily we've got life magic, but alright, meanwhile, Maya on the left side of your screen, picking up some... Ooh, the Mazmune! That's a pickup right there.
Yeah, he's going to have a big jump in offensive output now, capability. He may even opt to tackle some of the Fiends early.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. With access to known access to both temper and fast, the Seed's looking pretty good as far as boss killing. We've even got ourselves a White Shirt. TNT, that's a turn in. Could be good, could be nothing. A relatively fast check with the airship, though.
This location has been pretty loaded so far. We have Mazmune, Cube,
And
TNT,
a gold bracelet!
Gold bracelet, flame armor.
Oh, and the
shirt.
crown. xIceblue picking up the crown in the chest that ichbinmiah skipped in Volcano. Now, the crown may or may not lead to something important, but it's worth noting.
It definitely is. It's there's two chests up there. Maya's got to be thinking about maybe I should go back at some point.
Okay, so Elfland Castle at the bottom of Ice Cave.
One fine day with a question in chat. We had an issue earlier. The fighter was not gaining hit points. It appeared to even itself out, but now it definitely appears to be falling a bit behind again. We are trying to isolate if this is an issue with his EverDrive hardware or if it's part of the randomizer itself. And trust that our devs will be working on that right away.
All right, xIceblue picking up his all-important floater. So yeah, I would assume that Maya will at some point probably go back to Volcano, just because he knows that he hasn't finished all the checks and hasn't gotten all the way to the end of it yet. All right, Ordeal's in the Earth Cave entrance, so I'm always happy to see that.
Yay, Ordeals!
All right, so Melmond is the Cardia Islands Bahamut location with a wow, big pile of money in the chest that xIceblue just picked up. With the flags that we're running right now, there's basically no reason to like put off class upgrade. You pretty much want to do it as soon as you can, so that's a good spot to remember if that's something you're looking to do. Haven't yet found that tail though.
So we're seeing a bit of divergence here now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you find that floater in a seed like this, with the way the flags are, you've definitely got a lot of different places you can go. Now, I mean, Ice still a little bit behind because he's got a lot of running to do, but definitely still anyone's game. Alright, Maya finds the Toga party. Picks up his chime, so he could walk into the Mirage Tower. Who knows what's actually behind the Mirage Tower?
It's an option, it's nice to know. I always enjoy having items that unlock locations, just on the off chance something's there.
Oh yeah. I mean, for all you know, that could be a required location, and, you know, Cardia Islands have so many like entrances. It's one of those places where it can be easy to accidentally misremember or forget about a location. All right, xIceblue flying his airship for the first time in this seed. See where he decides to go.
Yeah, he's taken to the skies about 5 minutes behind Maya here, so we can kind of gauge Maya's lead at that currently. But Ice, again, does have the crown, and Maya does not.
Yeah, the problem for Maya now is that he's got so many places he can go with this unlocked airship that the odds of him prioritizing the back of Volcano could be lower compared to all the other places he has to go. But he did remember to come back and pick up fast.
The best thing to do when you are in this situation and you have so many places to check is remember your lines, remember the overworld map. Do your exploration, but you know, don't go from one corner to another. Do it in a line, and you'll save a lot of time.
Yeah, it's easy to lose track of exactly how much time you spend just kind of wasting time flying across the overworld. I mean, the airship feels fast, and it is, but you can bleed, I mean, minutes in unnecessary overworld travel time if you're not thinking about it. So yeah, that's definitely solid advice there. All right, Maya's taking your advice, Czar. He says, I've got this musical instrument. I want to join the Final Fantasy Randomizer Bell Choir, but first I'm going to say hi to my buddy Tyro.
Oh, no steak tonight, Maya?
No, Maya's a good person. All right. Opts not to go back in. That was a long walk for a reset. Still gets it, though. He's been paying better attention to the encounter table than I have. Alright, thinks really hard about going to Vanilla Toga Party, but decides to check out Guy. Man, we've had a lot of entrances where the first floor was some Sea Shrine floor. I think that's the third or fourth one.
Yeah, there's a lot of floors in Shrine. They end up getting shuffled in high frequency. A pro ring and a ribbon picked up for Maya in this location.
Yeah, there's also a cap, though. I mean, come on. You can put it on your head. It looks jaunty. And the adamant.
We're seeing high concentrations of good items in certain locations. So this leads me to believe that we're going to find a lot of dead ends and dull locations here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got Mass Immune and potential Excalibur here for the two fighters. Another couple ribbons with a known temper and fast. This could be a pretty efficient boss killing kind of seed. All right, good work, Maya. Towers of Friends. All right, so Maya taking the jog down to Vanilla Leffen. Lefine? Lifen? Lefunia. And it is first floor of Sky Castle. There's a few chests in this floor. We still got a couple of items at large that we're looking for here.
10 chests on this floor, I believe. There's an ice armor. He'll definitely take that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Alright, so checking the left side. Meanwhile, ichBinmiah did make the ice cave play right after he was picking up his floater, and now he's thinking really hard about where he wants to go. Alright, a useless ruby.
Yeah, sadly in these flags, Titan is most likely going to go hungry.
I mean, I guess we get experience per key item, so maybe the ruby's not completely useless.
No, you get 10% experience and gain from it, so definitely not useless.
That's 1% more than 9% are.
It is. You start getting into these decimals and you realize how much percent each, really counts.
Actually, wait. That's additive. It's 9 to 10% is not a 1% gain of over 9. Look, somebody with a math degree figure that out for me. Meanwhile, xIceblue checking out the Gaia town location. Finds the ice sword for sale, but given the quality of weapons we found here, not useful. But what is useful is that tail that Maya just picked up. This party composition definitely likes to find that class upgrade. Alright, we got Chad helping me out with the maths. I've got 11.11% repeating, of course. I don't know if that was a Leroy Jenkins reference, but if it was, props.
Doing maths on Twitch, dangerous. We're going to open another wormhole to the 5th dimension here. And
yeah, exactly.
Triton is cringing.
Last time that happened, ichBinmiah lost about 100 hit points on one of his fighters, so... if he gets down to negative hit points, do they then enter the Nega realm? I don't know. Let's find out here on Speed Gaming.
So that tail is in a real cute chest here in the Earth Cave. One that, again, most people tend to skip. We'll see if that can benefit him later.
Yeah, that chest is adorable, isn't it?
We have a level 1 fade, so Knights can definitely benefit from that.
Alright, xIceblue, my boy xIceblue, opting to take the full ordeals, gets rewarded with the pillars. Now, we've got a rank 2 or 3 warp or something? It was pretty early. So this should not prove to be too difficult.
Yeah, most people won't even go close to ordeals or digging ordeals unless they have warp, just because it saves so much time.
Cowards.
And we've discovered our first Fiend floor, yes. The Fiend of Earth.
Yeah, they get mowed down with Fade just as well as anyone else does. But yeah, Maya will, unless the Fiend of Earth proves to be difficult, which I doubt will happen given how geared his party is, I think Maya's going to be lighting his first crystal pretty soon here.
Blastoid corrected me. We did see a Kraken floor earlier. This is our second Fiend floor that we have discovered.
That's right. And what is Twitch chat for if not pedantic corrections? Alright, we two-shot the Earth Fiend. That guy's super dead. And he was already super dead, so now he's mega super re-dead.
What does that make him after Temple of Fiends Revisited, then?
His brother's, sister's, father's, mother's, next-door neighbor's former roommate.
I support that answer.
Nice. Spaceballs, anyone? Alright. Either way, Maya continues to earn and re-earn my friendship by just waving hi to the Tyros and leaving them alone. Meanwhile, ichBinmiah, discovering the horror that is the unshuffled sorcerer encounter, just non-stop trances, and all 4 of his party members. Oh, this is just awful.
He's got the trance lock. Oh my goodness.
Oh, a couple of them got out. Oh god, and they did that touch. Make it stop. Oh, can he get out?
I prefer my sorcerers without vanilla.
Oh, Jesus. That is gross. Oh, he's going back for more. ichBinmiah says, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" And Castle Ordeals gets out the paddle. See, now, and then you got the Argoyles. All right, gets the clutch first run there. Ugh. You know, I've been playing Randomizer for a long time, Czar, and even with shuffle enemy like skills and scripts and like attack element, I still get nervous when I see sorcerers. Like, that's how ridiculous they are in the vanilla game.
And they come at some really, you know, bottleneck locations, Ordeals, Sky Castle, and then, of course, the final floor trying to get to Chaos, where the encounter rate is increased.
Yeah, I agree. It is just gross. Alright, let's see if ichBinmiah fares any better here. He's already avoided his waking nightmare. Alright. Come on, Ordeals. You gotta pay off. Something's gotta be in here.
There's probably nothing in here.
Let me have this, Czar! Oh god, there's gotta be something in here. Alright, well, Maya facing off against the blue D trap tile. He dies real nice to Mass Moon, though.
ichbinmiah
so
checking the north side of Earth, and he discovers a ribbon.
That is ribbon number 2, I believe. It is. Maya says, Iron Shield, get that gross nonsense out of here. I want to be a pretty princess. And he was so excited about that ribbon chest, he tried to check it again. There was only one. Alright, you know, I was giving these runners crap for not using warp strats earlier, but they've been busting it out here in the mid-game, Czar. Saving time, ichBinmiah on your right, showing off the warp strats for the Ice Cave warp chest there.
I can't wait to get these runners' feedback after they view this VOD. Also, big thanks to all of our viewers on YouTube. We do enjoy you and your support. We have quite a big fan base there, it turns out. And we enjoy our viewers here on Twitch as well. And a big thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us this evening, the Final Fantasy Randomizer Highlander Tournament.
There can only be one, Czar.
So it is said.
Do I have to pay, like, royalties now? Probably.
You shall pay with thy sword.
Exactly. I was worried about the black helicopters before, but it's going to be a lightning strike and some guy with a katana under his trench coat that I really need to worry about.
City ninjas.
Alright, another pro ring. I mean, after a certain point, if you got enough ribbons, the pro rings still are useful because they provide a pretty robust 8 defense for their armor slot.
Pro ring is nice. It's the best armor for that slot, and it also gives you death protection.
Oh, was that a max gold? A max gold chest and also a Zeus gauntlet, but who cares about that max gold chest? xIceblue taking that heal helmet, throwing it in the garbage.
There's a mage staff there as well, so this room here is loaded.
I would just like to say that I'm proud of Twitch chat for the sheer volume of Spaceball quotes that I've been seeing. Good work. Now with rank 1 Fade on that white mage, not going to be a lot of opportunities to use the mage staff. Might have to use it for I don't know, like a boss or like a mid-level fight where, you know, the Fire 2 is going to be good enough. Ooh, the defense sword. Wow, you were right, Czar. That's that southern ice cave treasure chest area there. There was a lot of good stuff there.
The story of this seed so far has been bunches of progression and good items in small, condensed locations.
It's like the whole seed is a desert. And you're crawling through the desert, and then you find an item oasis, and you have your fill, and you put items in your canteen, and then you just go back into the desert to try to find the next one.
Never go into the desert without a comb, everyone. Some people might tell you the compass. Forget the compass, bring the comb.
Spaceball. Alright, not too much in the Matoya's Cave, which was at the bottom of this series of entrances that Maya has been finding. I suspect that pause there was him using his tracker, so he can basically check off the on-rack section. Going to be making his way up to the Waterfall Cave, another location I don't believe we've seen the entrance to.
It looked like there was a Bane sword at the bottom there in Matoya's Cave, so that is of note.
True. Also, against all logic, we found a bridge inside a chest. Although I guess the bridge is about the size of the chest in the Final Fantasy world, so maybe that's not as, you know, paradigm bending as we think it is.
It's the second dimensional world. Everything is disproportionate, and you're really lacking on your Z-axis.
Alright, so we found the mermaid party. And there ain't no party like a mermaid party, because a mermaid party is underwater, and they have a vanilla slab. It's not as catchy as the original. Alright, so Maya could warp here, decides... Oh, he does remember to use it. But he walked halfway around, so not quite as useful, but still saving himself a little bit of time.
Wasn't it you, Files, that actually routed the quickest check for this floor?
Yeah, there was some debate as to whether or not warp actually saved you time. Oh, we got ourselves a loot in the mermaid party room.
Musical mermaids.
See, it was a party. And just like every party you've ever been to when you were in your younger years, there's always some jackass playing a guitar. Alright, a katana for the ninja we don't have. Great. Alright, still, good floor. Solid floor. Much like in the vanilla game, the waterfall having a required item in it. So it'd be interesting to see where Maya goes next. He really needs to go back to Volcano at some point and pick up that crown, and really, that might turn out to be the story of this seed. xIceblue has been behind through quite a few trials and tribulations in this seed, but his stick-to-itiveness of full clearing that volcano and getting himself that crown might be the difference maker in this seed.
Could very well play out that way. We are almost an hour in now, and I think at this point, both runners probably feel a little behind.
Oh, I agree. It's one of those seeds where it's like, you feel like you're behind, but in your mind you're wondering, am I actually behind, or is this seed just a giant garbage fire? And I feel like in this case, it's probably a little bit of both. Both runners have definitely had some minor misplays. But these are difficult flags that we're running. And on top of that, we're running difficult flags with entrances shuffled, which is a lot to keep track of.
Ice getting the big load of bull there for the ambush.
Yeah, that is literally the biggest load of bull that this game can give you. It cannot get any more bull than that. Ooh, the opal bracelet. That's a nice find.
Yeah, compared to the chain armor he had on the mage there, looks like he's opting to give the opal to the white mage. Playing
Yeah,
it
with
extra
that.
safe, knowing the white mage has life too.
Yeah, with that life 2 and the fade charges, the white mage is a real star of this particular seed.
Speaking of
ichBlue
star,
correctly remembering to skip the chest that's empty. Good work.
we have Maya digging the star-shaped room and discovering a sun sword in the northwest room. The woke sword.
I mean, Sun Sword nice, but with Mass Immune and Excalibur, not as important. I mean, I guess you could put it on your red mage, but the odds of him doing a lot of attacking in a world where temper and fast exists is probably not too high.
Yeah, let's not forget Falconic mentioning in chat that the sun sword gets the benefit of having the weapon fixes off. It's one of the high tier swords.
Yeah, very true. I mean, but they also have Mass Immune, which I don't know if you've read. It does pretty good damage.
It does. With 2 fighters and a red mage, you might end up throwing that sun sword on the red mage, actually, if he decides to follow up with that class change.
Yeah, I suspect class change will give Mass Immune and because he picked up Adamant, right? So I think there's an Excalibur in play.
Question in chat from Faywins. Correct. The weapon fixes are off for this flag set.
Yeah, you got yourself some OG ridiculous crit values. Doesn't the Sun Sword have? I believe it has its crit rate with weapon fixes off is or with weapon stats off is like 20 something, 24, I believe. That's pretty good. It's not Mazamoon 40 good, but it's pretty good.
We have that cat claw, that's lurking as well. I think the cat claw is a far underrated weapon.
I feel like it's correctly rated. How often are you gonna have your do you find yourself using it a lot on your black mage? Or black wizard rather?
Well, in my case, when I'm playing clamps of 500% and prizes of 500% and all entrances and long topher, usually I end up putting a cat claw in there and finding Saber.
No, that's fair. Saber is actually underrated. But see, the thing with Saber is that Saber is such a good spell that you could be using a wooden staff and Saber would still be pretty good. Although it's better to start off with higher stats. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Czar. You're not wrong. Wow, I see we still have Spaceballs the Randomizer going on in Twitch chat. I'm not sure if I regret that reference, 10 minutes ago or not, but good work.
The chat has been active this evening in regards to Spaceballs and the Vorpal. We have trending.
Yeah,
hashtags.
Also there's a race going on right now. Alright, Manacores, being annoying with their stinger. They do have pretty good experience, which is, I believe, why Maya is taking the time here. Some bad fade rules, and then runs away. Yikes. If you're going to commit to throwing a fade out there, you might as well stick around and finish the job. But that's just my philosophy. Maya maybe have something else up his sleeve. Like Mazamooning down an eye for some nice experience points.
Ice treating us with the out-of-bounds bat sighting.
Out of bounds bat. What a
Thank you.
And I remember when that bat wasn't always guaranteed to be out of bounds, and the randomizer devs changed it. Good stuff. Say what you want about the Final Fantasy randomizer, but we enjoy ourselves some memes. Alright, so we've got actual backup. Ooh, the robot! As Trista likes to call it, Marcy, because it's kind of like the Final Fantasy Adventure robot. That is our third ribbon, so we now know where all the ribbons are.
And the rod has been discovered in the star-shaped room. So star-shaped room loaded.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like how many more required items do we have that we need to get, Czar? You play more entrance than me. If we know where the key is, since we know where the crown is, are we potentially missing anything else? Could that rod be required?
Potentially missing the Oxyale currently.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right. Yep, there could be a Fiend dungeon there. Good call. See, they only keep me around for my looks, guys. Sar knows all the answers. And since this is radio only, you know exactly how good my looks are for.
Truth be told, the only reason I knew that is because I'm thirsty, and I enjoy a good glass of Oxyale.
Oh man, speaking of thirsty, Maya is thirsty for staying in this race. He is rediving the volcano. This is crucial for him because we know that the crown is in here. We also, I don't believe, did we see all the way to the end of this with ichBinmiah? Entrance always turns my head around.
Yeah, this is a big move for Maya. He must be getting to that point now where it's bothering him enough. I need to go back and check that.
Well, I mean, a lot of times with these races, you need to. There's kind of two ways you can think about it. We're getting into Files racing philosophy here, but you can play to win or you can play to not lose, and both of those can be important depending on how the race is going. But if you put off this entrance for too long when you have other places to go, and it turns out something important was here, you could end up losing by a lot as opposed to spending just a little bit of time and going back in here. And we know this to be the right move because we know that the crown is in here, and crown leads to key eventually, and that is a required item. Meanwhile, ichBinmiah checking out the less than greater than room. We already had enough math on this broadcast earlier. All right, well, there's your Oxyale, Czar.
Yes, the bottle ends up leading to the Oxyale, so we have almost mapped out everything now, I believe.
And that bottle is at the very top of the greater than sign, maybe perhaps implying that the bottle is greater than all other drops in that room, so maybe it will be important. Or maybe I'm reading too much into that.
Maya is making the move now here into these chests and Volcano. He's going to feel really good should he decide to find that key item in here.
Yeah, we're getting down to brass tacks here in this seed. We're getting down to our last required items. We've got... Basically, these runners are experienced enough. They know they can eventually get through Temple of Fiends with the items that they have and the equipment that they have. But at this point, they just need to find the entrances. They need to find these fiends, and they need to punch them right in their stupid face so they can light the crystals. And that's what we're waiting to see. We need to... Who can route the most efficiently in this entrance seed? Who can get the most done in the most efficient way possible?
Yes, at this point, I think this race is going to come down to execution. The runners are still close enough to where it's really anyone's race.
I mean, that should tell you something about the seed, that we're an hour and 5 minutes in, and ichBinmiah is just now attacking his first fiend. I'm telling you, man, Carrie is the secret boss. Everyone always talks about Kraken, blah, 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 Kraken 2. Tiamat or Chaos or whatever, but I've seen more runs die to Carrie than I think any other boss in this game.
Big pickup for Maya there, getting that crown.
Yeah,
and
that
Carrie
crown is
can
huge.
be very fierce. You can roll very high hit points, very high attack.
She's
Most
got
people
6 hits,
overlook
man.
Carrie.
She's got those 6 arms. I mean, that's a lot of obscene gestures that she can make at you to really make you feel bad about yourself. You know, the mental and emotional damage that Carrie can do is not to be underestimated. All right, so ichBinmiah perhaps checking his tracker, getting out his compass and protractor. He's getting out his astrolabe. He's trying to figure out where to go.
So at this point, you're in this seed files. You're an hour and 6 in. You've got a pretty good idea of your items and setup. You have the tail. Are you going to dig out for anything else? Possibly another ribbon for one of these runners? Or are you comfortable with 2 or 1 ribbon?
I mean, with life 2 on your white mage, and life learnable, I believe, was regular life in a night learnable slot. I don't remember. But with 2 ribbons and the fast temper, revives, Masamune, I feel like you've got the equipment needed to beat this game. especially given the stats where they are for these particular flags. The scale only goes up to like enemy stats are at 100%. So I think these guys are definitely capable of clearing this game right now. As you mentioned, it's just going to be a race to see who can, who can be the most efficient, who can execute here, who can find these bosses and kill them the fastest. Which I guess is really, basically just describing a race. So it's a race.
Maya's currently opting to finish up the quest to get the key. And yeah, with the knowledge of Vanilla Temple and what is actually going to be waiting for them down there, I think we're going to see a little bit of a grind at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious what Maya is... he forgot that he had to... Yeah, you got to have the key for that door, buddy. Yeah, it's definitely muscle memory. Alright, so... So the real question here is, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and you mentioned using lines on the overworld map, Zar. At this point in the game, when you're remembering where your entrances are in an entrance shuffle, really planning out and knowing where your entrances are, so you're very efficient in your kind of turning in of these, fetch quests and what have you. This is the part of the seed where you lose minutes just kind of aimlessly wandering around and doing things inefficiently.
That's correct, and there's really 2 rounds of exploration in this rando once you get the airship. The first round is, okay, let's see where every entrance is, what that floor is, if we want to dig a couple maybe, but you really want to get an idea of every entrance on the overworld. Once you have that, then you have to recover it again in the second level exploration, which obviously you have to dig into them.
Yeah, that's where the real spelunking happens. I'm not gonna lie, I just really wanted to say the word spelunking. Is that a crime? My bad, man.
We're getting some very powerful vocabulary in tonight's broadcast, and I think I like that.
Yes, I've been quite vociferous. All right, so xIceblue also punching the surprise Astos there. Yep, turns out the king of Northwest Casto was Astos the whole time.
I mean, I see it every time I do a broadcast, every time I do a race, and I just still can't get over it. That's really what happened there.
It's a shocking betrayal. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you read about in, the classic American novel. The greats of both Eastern and Western literature. Nothing compares to the betrayal that is Astos.
It's like episode 3.
Too soon, man. Too soon. He was supposed to bring balance to the Final Fantasy randomizer, not destroy it.
Oh man, the irony.
We're gonna play the randomizer sequel, and it's gonna turn out that Astos is like one of the Light Warriors' father, and my head is just gonna explode, and I'm not gonna be able to deal with it. All right, speaking of head exploding, we got both these runners kind of doing that kind of second level. Spelunking that you mentioned. Maya correctly remembering where to go next after he did the Astos kill. Has to go to Matoya next to get the herb. Now, if I remember correctly, Elfland Castle was at the bottom of some gross run somewhere. So hopefully Maya is taking better notes than I am. He'll know where to go for this.
Delivering the herb can be a dangerous, dangerous place.
It is, man. You got the Final Fantasy randomizer cops on you, depending on where you live. It's rough. Meanwhile, xIceblue taking on Kraken. Now, I didn't mean to speak ill of Kraken before. Kraken, even Kraken 1, is still more than capable of just wiping the floor with somebody. Not this time, though. Meanwhile, Maya attempting to fly his ship into the ice cavern cave for a second time this seed. He's like the old man that accidentally drives into the front door of a Dunkin' Donuts.
Is that what you're seeing here? That's I see this vision in my head of what you're describing, and
There's a reason a lot of stores have those giant concrete pillars in front of their doors. It's for drivers like Maya. Alright, so xIceblue is up an orb over his opponent currently.
Still anyone's race at this point. He also has the bottle. He's going to be turning in the Oxy Ale shortly.
And I think the only reason, like if I'm Maya, I think the only reason I'm still digging for chests is because, like you mentioned, I'm worried about TNT or Oxy Ale being required.
Wow, my mind was just blown by what I saw on iCeblue's screen. There were back-to-back 2 GRP'd encounters. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I mean, possible. Clearly possible. I'm not sure what spell he could possibly find here. Cure 4, nice, but that was pretty expensive.
Cure 4 definitely worth it. Even if you just get 1 charge of it, it might be key in surviving.
Yeah, I mean,
as ice is now
Cure 4 clearing all status ailments. A timely Cure 4 on a paralyzed fighter can be the difference between winning or losing a chaos fight.
Certainly can. Ice is clearing out the star-shaped room. This is a good play. This room was loaded. I think he might gain a little bit of ground here.
Yeah, I believe the rod was in here, which I believe we still don't know if it's required or not.
Ice did find the rod location, but he did not elect to dig it yet.
I'll need to hear about Ice digging for his rod. Meanwhile, Maya heading back to Canoe, probably going to pick up those potions again. Nope, he wants to buy houses in bulk.
Question in the chat from Elastoid. We did find Temple of Fiends. It's actually sitting right there at Cornery Castle.
Yeah, that's the handiest Temple of Fiends. Maya's got 3 more crystals he needs to set ablaze before he can set foot in there. Now, he knows where, if he's been taking good notes, he should know where, I believe, at least 1, if not 2 of the Fiend locations are.
Yeah, we saw Tiamat. Ice ran into Tiamat's floor early, tried to do a grind there, and then left.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, there's only 1 Fiend that we don't know the location for, so Rod is still potentially up in the air for required.
I believe we have seen all the Fiend locations. We've seen Lich, we've seen Kraken early, Elastoid noted that. We've seen Carry, and we've seen Tiamat floor, so...
Oh yeah, you're right, because we took out, yeah, and I forgot that we took out, yeah, good call, good call. No one has actually killed Tiamat, though, I believe? Or did Ice get him down? I can't read the tracker. Never learned how to read.
Tiamat has not been defeated yet.
Okay, didn't think so. Oh yeah, Temple of Fiends. Alright, good work, Chad. I take back all the bad things I said about you, and there were a lot of them.
Oh no, Files secretly conspiring against the chat.
Was it secret, though? Okay, I kind of just, opened my kimono on that one.
So one item that might come into play here is the Power Bonk. We've not seen the Bonk yet.
Yeah, the Power Bonk is a nice get. With Temper available on the Red Mage, it's a little less hard required. And with stats sticking at 100%, it's not like you're going to have to cut through a ton of stat boosted boss. So with a Masamune in hand, I wouldn't feel like I was really missing out if I didn't have it. But it would be nice to find, for sure. Besides, I always like finding the Power Gauntlet in a Final Fantasy Randomizer race, because the icon for it here is the glove from Zelda 2. So that's always fun for me to see lit up.
No glove, no love.
Exactly. Well, I believe I just described a scenario where if you didn't have the glove, you could still get a little bit of love. But if push comes to shove, I'm going to go eat a dove. Look, okay, that fell off the rails. I'm not going to lie to you.
Somebody clip it.
All right. The dreaded vampire gets absolutely destroyed by the light axe. Weapon fixes aren't even on, but it doesn't matter. He still super dies. All right, let's see what's behind the rod locked. All right, just a lame one of the 5,000 floors in Sea Shrine.
The reverse sea floor. This floor can be a very bad place to dig. You lose a lot of time here. As you can see, we have unrunnable ghosts here, along with unrunnable sea hags.
Yeah, this is you are correct. This could be one of the worst floors actually. Now that I think about it, in Entrance Shuffle, in terms of like time lost. Let's see if Maya opts to. There's a couple low-hanging fruit chests here he could grab. No, I think he's correctly identified that he doesn't really need any more items, except for maybe... Nope, doesn't need any more items. So he's basically just trying to find those Fiend entrances.
iCiceblue picking up his second ribbon now.
Yeah, and honestly, ribbon number 2 is a really huge deal. In fact, I might even... I posit to you, Czar, that I think ribbon 2 might actually be more important than ribbon 1 when it comes to the endgame.
I'm inclined to agree, even if you're only running two-man strats. Without an early wall available, I will not feel comfortable diving too deep into any temple, really, without that second ribbon.
Yep, and especially with unshuffled enemy scripts and skills, Temple of Fiends is going to be a little brutal.
Yeah, you're looking at a number of unrunnable encounters, among them gas dragons, frost giants, you have fire, you have earth, water. Waters can be really bad.
Yeah, although ribbon not super particularly useful against waters, but I find I get myself a little bit of a morale boost when I've got a ribbon. I feel prettier. I feel like my attacks do more damage. You know, the psychological game is important. Is what I'm trying to say. Well, that's what I'm trying to say here, Zark. Come on.
That's what the ribbon's all about. That's
yeah,
what.
If you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you're going to execute well on your Final Fantasy Randomizer seed. That's just science.
That science said, when are we going to get files on camera?
See, that's more science. That I can't be financially responsible for all of the screaming and throwing of monitors and audiovisual equipment at the shock. Yeah, when I win the lottery, Czar, that'll be when that happens.
Okay, well, at least you gave us a date. Maybe sometime in Neverland. As ichbinmiah is going to the north side of the Marsh Fork.
I think the only Fiend that Maya doesn't know where it is, at least not that I've seen, is Carrie. He knows where Tiamat was, although it was an hour and 20 minutes ago, so hopefully he didn't forget. I have a feeling he's probably just saving that, because we know where Temple of Fiends is, so he probably is just saving that for last.
Sometimes things can get lost in the randomizer of thoughts in your head trying to finish the seed. Yeah,
I mean, Entrance Shuffle is definitely it's almost an entirely different game than playing a non-Entrance Shuffle randomizer seed. It definitely brings a different skill set to play. You got a lot of more different things to keep track of. Meanwhile, iCiceblue finding the semi-useless ruby. It's only good for 10% EXP bonus at this point.
Yeah, just a quick note for the tracker. I believe both runners do have the ruby.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah, here is Carrie. Yep. I couldn't remember if this was the path that eventually led to Carrie, but... All right. Did Ice ever actually see Matoya? I'm trying to remember. Well, he's going to murder himself some Earth Fiend right here.
Yeah, we're going to have Fiends in stereo in just a moment here.
Actual stereo, don't kill him too fast. There we go. All right. No matter which screen you look at, it's non-stop Fiends.
Now ichbinmiah lighting the fire orb, and he is on his way, as Ice will be lighting his third orb.
Yeah, they were, ichbinmiah caught up to xIceblue and orbs lit for about 3 seconds. Alright, xIceblue also correctly maintaining my friendship with him and, leaving Tyros alone. Look at that adorable, goofy smile. So cute. Just want to pet him and hug him, squeeze him, make him a very own.
Ice continuing to tempt the fates here.
Alright, yeah, so Maya making his way to... Alright, now, once Maya makes quick work of Kraken here, and by quick work, I mean have to deal with an unrunnable water encounter, he should, in theory, know where Tiamat is, so this should be... We could see a lot of... Maya's going to go from 1 crystal to 4 in about the elapsed time of about 3 or 5 minutes.
Ice now returning to Gaia. He's probably going to make the turn in for this Oxyale.
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't needed, but Ice still does not know that.
Well, it does net you another 10%, I believe, as well.
Actually, wait, if he has... He's just missing Tiamat, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah, that's right, but he doesn't know about Matoya. That's what my brain was just destroying me there. But yeah, he still doesn't know where his Matoya turn-in is, I believe. And I think he's also missing the loot, if the tracker is to be believed there. So yeah, he does not know that he does not need to do that yet. So it's a smart play to do it.
Every Final Fantasy randomizer race is a time loop.
It is. Whether you want it to be or not. Alright, so we got ourselves a Kraken fight. Fade, throwing out the damages. Of course, the fighter swings his sword before Fast is cast. And that white mage gets a technically death right there.
So the Oxyale is going to lead to 3 treasure chests.
And much to xIcebleue's disappointment, no dice. Alright, so we got ourselves some dead calamari there on Maya's side. Alright, this is important here. Does he remember where Tiamat is? Looks like he might.
This race is tightening up very quickly here.
It is. Got to give the nod to Maya right now in the current position, but unshuffled, unscript changed Temple of Fiends has changed the outcome of many a race.
Kind of surprised at this digging ordeals here from Ice. Well, he doesn't have the loot, so that might be what he's after. Still a huge gamble to check ordeals without incentive.
If by a huge gamble you mean objectively the right play all the time, then yes, I agree.
Get your blessed RNGs in chat. Will we see a war mech? Maya's already halfway across the bridge.
Yeah, don't... No, wow, only 2 encounters in the Bridge of Destiny. Yikes.
Run of heroes.
Alright, Fade Fast. Tepper. Mazimune. Tiamat should not be too long for this world. Wow, 8 hits. Where's your mighty dodge god now, Tiamat? Vorpal. And he
flies the Vorpal, he drops the Vorpal.
And he threw it on the ground. He's not a part of your system.
The gods are not pleased.
No, they are not. Well, honestly, with a seed such as this, with a bounty of riches that the game has decided to give you, why waste your time on the Vorpal? That's right, I said it, Czar.
So ichbinmiah into Temple of Fiends at 127.
Yeah, now Zara and I kind of briefly touched on it, but if you're not familiar with unshuffled Temple of Fiends, you've got rub mages here with a pretty high ambush percentage. You've got gross gas dragons casting poison, lit 3 on these guys. A bunch of like 40 to 50% of the fights in this dungeon are unrunnable. This whole place is just gross.
Vanilla Temple is not an easy run. The main issue is the unrunnable encounters, which in most randomizer flags are shuffled. You don't see as many in the temple.
Well, yeah, because the high concentration of unrunnable fights that are in here tend to get distributed to the less, heavy locations in other portions of the game.
xIceblue going to pick up Excalibur there. Not actually ain't able to equip it yet, but he's going to get it.
I mean, he wanted to feel like a king for the day.
He's going to do the canal check. Hooray!
He just wanted to look at a pretty bridge. Is it so wrong?
It must be for the memes.
It could be. Alright, so xIceblue also cannot park his airship. He and Maya will join each other in the old folks' home where they'll take their airship driver's license away.
ichbinmiah dealing with some unearnable zombie dragons. Harm 4 doing work here. Harm 4 is a good spell for situations like this, like Lich 2. It usually rolls to a slot that is not a high priority spell, and you can kind of burn them off there.
Alright, so Maya working his way through. I mean, even without the unrunnable encounters, this is just a long dungeon.
It is. In vanilla, I believe it is the longest, actually. I think 11 to 12 floors.
Yeah, it's a lot. And not only is it just the sheer number of up and down staircases and switchbacks, each individual layout is also large. There's just a lot of running in the Temple of Fiends.
I know there's been some talk of randomizing the layouts, like the progressive open scaling for Temple, and I'm not sure it's a good idea unless you're an absolute sadist.
Wow, the man that runs 500% scaling thinks that something isn't a good idea. That's a bold statement.
Well, I mean, I would run it.
Oh, Lich with a nuke! Oh, and one of the life casters stays alive. All right, good work.
White
and
mage
Maya
saves.
taking the bold step. All right, gets that life up. Yikes. Yeah, nothing eats through the old health potions stock like a good old cast a nuke on 4 members of your party.
Yeah, this is going to slow Maya down a bit with this healing. He's losing time here. Ice is going to find Tiamat shortly, if he's not digging out something else at this point. No loot yet. That's correct. No loot.
Yeah, it's the loot. And also, I don't believe he still needs to find. Is it Matoya? I think he's part of his crown chain is still unfinished.
He has found Matoya.
Oh yeah, there we go. See, that wasn't me forgetting where the location was, Zar. That was me. I was trying to be ironic, forecasting the location. That was all planned. Oh, the unrunnable frost giant fight. Yikes. Alright, so Maya approaching carry 2. I don't know what he thinks his fighter is doing that isn't attacking. Yep, no reason to save any more fast casts at this point.
I'm surprised Maya didn't class change. He's obviously feeling behind and trying to save time here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. At this point, what is class change getting you? A couple more defensive options for some of your fighters in terms of, not in terms of resistances, but in terms of sheer just absorb power. The real benefit to class change, in my opinion, for this seed is I think your knights have the ability to cast life, if I remember correctly. Or was that in the harm 2 spot? I don't remember. Someone bail me out, chat. If your knights could learn life in this seed with the class change, that would be worth it. But even if you could, you would have to level up these knights so that they would get a spell charge, which is a not insignificant amount of time. So I kind of see why Maya is going where he's going. Meanwhile, loot pickup by ichBinmiah.
If Maya wipes here, this could be anyone's race. And,
yeah.
Another benefit to the class change would be Excalibur. With the weapon fixes off, Excalibur's formidable.
That's true. Second highest crit rate in the game. Alright, so Ice is kicking himself. He's like, why didn't I check the waterfall sooner? I hate everyone and everything. But as you mentioned, still anyone's game. And these waters are just having their way with Maya's party.
There's going to be more healing, more time lost here.
Maya debating casting heal 3. He does it. He does it twice. Not even... Okay, so if he doesn't full heal before Kraken, I'm just going to slap him. But he does. Alright, the sacrificial red mage. God bless you, Cape. You did good, son. Nope, well, I guess Boop is going to be the first one to get booped. Alright, here we go. Now, this is pretty huge. This is one of the first major chances that Maya could have to wipe on the left side of your screen there. Kraken definitely has the ability to reach out and touch just about anybody for a lot of damage.
Looks like he's going all-out attack here, not really concerned with buffing.
No, he has the white shirt. Alright, Kraken with an amazing wasted turn with ink.
ichBinmiah now has the key.
Alright, ichBinmiah in solid go mode here. Alright, there we go. I mean, even vanilla Kraken still has the potential to just murder people. But, Maya refixing his party should probably heal. Is he gonna spend... He's using all of his Cure 3 charges. Was he at, like, 20-some healing potions? Oh, you madman. He's not even... I guess, you know, why give your unribboned fighter... Why waste time healing him right before Tiamat? Especially unshuffled Tiamat. Alright, Fade doing pretty good damage. The fast gets off before the Mazamoon swing with a solid 666.
Yeah, this is not going to be a long battle. Another couple of those, Tiamat will be done.
No, yep. Edge with that first turn Mazamoon hit. Maya not even healing, just running straight to the last floor. Alright, this is it, folks. Maya's got himself a chaos fight here. He's gonna blow all his healing potions, no reason not to. His eye has gotta be twitching, staring at that Speedruns Live IRC window, just waiting for his opponent to dot done. Every second wasted trying to menu incorrectly to healing potions here could be important. Alright, every last heal potion guzzled.
So what do you think, Files? Do you wait for the Cure 4 to come out before attacking, or do you buff?
I was just about to say, I was about to give the unshuffled Chaos speech. Chaos does cast Cure 4 with vanilla scripts and spells, which fully heals him.
Eyesight's there, or...
Yeah, I mean, we've got buffs here. I mean, there's no reason not to have your fighters swing that Mazamoon. There's no reason not to have your Red Mage casting those buffs. I'm not sure if I'd have thrown out that Fade right away. Alright, there's one of the spells already thrown out by Chaos there with that Ice 3.
ichBinmiah into Temple of Fiends at 1:36:30. That's a solid 9.5 minutes behind Maya.
Yeah, I was going to say that's almost 10 minutes. Oh, and then he just gets Frosty Blizzarded. Oh, wow. Chaos is just blowing through his spell list. Oh, and that was a big 700 hit from that Mazamoon. Oh, yikes. Ooh, things are looking grim for xIceblue here.
Yeah, he gets a worm encounter.
It ain't over till you do 2,000 damage to Chaos here, folks. Crack! Alright, Crack didn't even kill the people without ribbons. Alright, this could very well be the last Masamune swing, folks. Well, Light Axe doing pretty decent damage, actually. Oh, and the Red Wizard with the Sun Sword finishing off Chaos. ichbinmiah finishing with an SRL race time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, 38 seconds. Taking the first place in this race. Bust out your GGs, folks. You know, I always say it's no shame to lose to somebody when you yourself are also in Temple of Fiends. So definitely a close race here.
Yeah, it was a good race. Much faster than yesterday's race. The seed kind of started out really slow, but about midway they just both started going. And Ice made up a lot of time, but I don't think it was enough here.
Yeah, the missing fighter hit points could have had some effect, although it was... I don't think Ice lost any fights that I think he might have normally won without that hit point. I could be wrong, I wasn't paying full attention to every individual fight, but definitely something we'll be looking into here.
We're going to try to get ichbinmiah in here for a post-race interview.
Oh yeah, definitely. But meanwhile, we got ourselves yet another Temple of Fiends to see over here on the right side of your screen. Alright, looks like we are joined
by ichbinmiah.
We are, Maya. Congratulations, sir, on your victory.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
I certainly can. And it sounds like victory.
Oh, wonderful! I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry to hear xIceblue had something weird go on with his ROM or something.
Yeah, one of his fighters magically lost about 100 hit points from his max health pool.
What, really?
Yeah, it's very odd. Well, even if it didn't have an actual effect on any of the specific fights, just knowing it was an issue could have been a problem for xIceblue, but I mean, it was a pretty close race. Pretty slow opener, honestly. You had to go digging for that floater. Like when you found that floater at the end of kind of the volcano chain, what was going?
What was going through my mind was to get the heck out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that almost bit you in the butt too.
Yes, it did. Because Slab was there too. And so I put it in the back of my mind with a question mark that I needed to finish whatever that was off. And then after I found that Lich was open, Tiamat was open, and Kraken was open, I was like, all right, well, let's go find where Carry is. So I needed two things. I needed Crown and I needed Carry. And so that was the... I started just skipping stuff right and left, hoping that I was making the right idea.
Well, it seems to come up pretty well for you. I mean, xIceblue managed to find the Crown much earlier than you did, and Zar and I were basically just commenting that it was going to be a question of how soon does Maya go back in to pick up that Crown, and you did it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, at that point I had not cleared Mirage entrance, I had not cleared either the two Cardias, and I had not finished where I had started. And so that would have been Volcano left side. And so when I was looking at that, I was like, well, I'll go finish where I was before, because if xIceblue checked any of those chests and I didn't, because I went to the armory first before I kind of went on the switchback path and checking those out of the way chests, I figured, you know, I might as well hedge my bets and get those taken care of.
Very nice. He played pretty well. GG. Tell us about electing not to class change with the tail.
I totally forgot, to be completely honest.
We're sitting over here like, man, is this some kind of like galaxy brain play? It's like I was trying to remember, like, was life in a slot learnable by a knight? We were just really hashing it out. Turns out you just forgot.
No, there was no time for that. There was no time to go visit Bahamut again.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, this seed was pretty generous. I mean, you got 2 ribbons without like having to dig real hard. You got Masamune, Sun Sword, Temper, and Fast were readily available on the Red Mage. I mean, you were probably feeling pretty good about your equipment.
Yeah,
or maybe you weren't.
No, I did. I felt fine with the equipment I had. I had flame armor and ice armor, and I figured that was good enough. I had Masa, I had a Sun Sword. The only thing that I didn't really love was that I only had... I mean, of course, Fast and Temper were on the same track, or same level 4 slot. And so I think I had 5 charges for the entire dive. And so I thought to myself, if this is going to screw me anywhere, it's going to be because I don't level enough. And get enough charges of Fast and Temper, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, it did, very clearly.
xIceblue getting through Lich without nuke, so he was spared that. You spent a little bit of time healing in Temple, but shortly after Kraken, you had a pretty good run to Chaos. It was very smooth.
You know, I want to have all of the heal pots back that I used after Lich nuked me. Because I probably could have played that part better. I should have waited a little bit and probably tried to make my way through Fire Floor at least before using the 50 heal pots or whatever it was to heal up at that point, because, you know, then you get to the water floor and I'm like, oh my god, I only have 20 heal pots left. This is not going to go well.
Yeah, and you were getting... I mean, the run from the end of the Kraken fight to the stairway out of that hellhole can seem like an eternity, because you can get like 3 unrunnable water fights in those like 8 tiles and just hate your life.
No, I got pretty lucky. I only had 1 water fight on that entire floor, and I think I only saw 1 encounter on Tiamat's. I think I only saw 1 encounter on Tiamat's floor.
You actually saw none.
Oh, okay, I saw 0. And then I saw nothing on the other side of Tiamat also, and I got very lucky there.
So you're sitting as the winner of this in the Highlander Tournament bracket. You're on to the next phase now, I believe. Thoughts on the next round?
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get XIceBlue's situation taken care of, so that we make sure that he's comfortable with his setup, and so we'll take care of that, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I'm happy to tie it up. So we will. So now I got to go back and look at the flag sets and find out what fun stuff I want to do next.
Let's say this ends up being a redo of race 2, correct? The last one got thrown out.
Yeah, the last one got thrown out because XIceBlue had some sort of a critical error and wiped all of his progress an hour in, and so that's why we rescheduled for tonight.
Is that when you drink so much you accidentally close your entrance tracker and you don't remember anything is?
Yes, that's exactly it.
All right, awesome.
That's when you throw the Vorpal away, and the gods are not pleased.
Yeah, there was lots of talk of XIceblue, you know, somehow permanently damaging his equipment with the curse of throwing in the Vorpal. And I just wanted to remind Twitch chat that the Vorpal's garbage and you need to throw in the garbage.
I have no idea what this sword is that you speak of.
Forgive them, chat. They know not what they do.
Playing the Switzerland, I see.
Oh no, I have opinions. I'm just not going to share them in front of hundreds.
We love you, Maya.
All right. Speaking of cowardice, we've got XIceblue setting up for his Kraken 2 fight now with only 100%. You know, stats, as we mentioned when Maya was here, Kraken still is capable of reaching out a tentacly hug and destroying someone's day. Wow, just like that. If that had been the less poorly armored white mage, that would have been a dead lifecaster.
Big shot there from Masamune.
Yeah, I mean, unweapon fixed Masamune with fast, even without any temper charges, it just dishes out the damage. Alright, so XIceblue already has infinitely more encounters on this floor than Maya did. Twice infinitely more encounters than Maya did. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh
This is not the
no!
encounter you wanna see.
Ah, God! Oh, his red mage just failed the run, I think. Oh no! Oh God!
And it is the
ichbinmiah
stun
already
lock.
died once to Sorcerer Trance and then Death Touch stun lock. That was a fate you avoided, Maya.
He named all of his characters stun. Why did he do that?
Yeah, that was it was almost prophetic, really. He could have named them all variations on trance. Alright, well, this has actually gone swimmingly. To be honest with you, this could have gone a lot worse than it just has.
Yeah, he's gonna get out of it.
Oof. That is gross. Alright, heal potion in a good position, but honestly, ichBlue making the right call here. For similar reasons that Maya did, really no reason to heal that first row fighter. He's not doing a lot of damage at this point, he's just there to eat a hit. And not only do you waste your heal portions, you waste your precious time. So yeah, he was dying to that thunder, even unless you like full healed him, and that would have been a waste.
So Maya, your strats for the Fiends seem to be more offensive. There wasn't really that much defensive buffing. Did you feel confident in your ability to finish with that damage?
Yeah, I mean, my party was mid-20s, and I felt with a Massa, all I had to do was get that fasted and have that happen in the correct order, which didn't, I think, for most of them. I think
a couple of key
Massa
ones you had.
early a couple times.
I think Kraken
yeah.
might have been the only one that it did work out on, but if you had to pick one.
Yeah, but no, I think the best defense with vanilla enemies is a good offense when you get down here to the revisited Fiends.
Alright, so ichBlue in his Chaos fight. Unchanged percentages, that's 2,000 damages. We gotta work our way through here. Going for the white shirt buffs, the fast. Only about 300 damage. And much like you, Maya, not a single person died to the crack, not even the unribboned party members.
Yeah, I got really lucky with that.
Thank you so much, ichbinmiah, for the sub-hype and the chat.
If I win, everyone wins.
Except
all
for the
winners
people
today,
who
everyone.
objectively don't
You
win.
heard it.
Alright, so Maya, Maya. Whoever the person is that's still running, ichBlue, not having quite as a heavy a crits on his Masamune here. Okay, that one went a little better. Going for the Bane Sword and the Brack strats. ichBlue, going for the memes, a man after my own heart. Opting not to use Temper. I guess you don't want to lose your temper when you're this late into a race, guys. Am I right? Okay, here we go.
Bane strat's coming out. We all want to see it.
I don't know. We're what, 2 or 3 spells in? Cure 4 is in the list. It could happen. Okay, it didn't happen, but it could have.
Get your GGs out. ichBlue has finished. Official SRL time of 1:50:24.
All right, bust out those GGs, Chad. I'm seeing the G's. I do see a G next to a G. There we go. Good work. All right, so let's see if ichBlue is interested in a interview.
I know I am.
Maybe he can discuss the his fighter suddenly getting diagnosed with some kind of chronic condition halfway through the seed, losing 100 hit points. All right, we are joined by ichBlue. ichBlue, how is it going? GG.
GG's.
GG's, Ice.
So I gotta ask, does that one fighter have health care? Is he gonna be all right?
No, Obama took that away from him.
Wow, did not mean to get political.
Hey.
But yeah, that was it. That was definitely an interesting seed. Now we don't have a ton of time here. We got about 3 or so minutes for the interview, but I gotta ask, How good were you feeling? The big thing that was different in this seed is that you were able to find that crown at the same time that you found the floater. Yeah, your opponent ended up having to dive back in there for.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I think I spent way too much time searching for Matoya's cave and just avoiding Onrak in general, which was probably the reason it cost me the seed.
Yeah, I mean, it could honestly when I run entrance, the waterfall cave is definitely one of the tight, kind of hard to remember places.
Oh, it's not that I didn't remember. It's just I don't like going up there, especially on this encounter table. This encounter table is really awful. It's like every 6 steps was an encounter, and it was pretty awful.
Yeah. Well, you know what's not awful is finding a garbage sword and throwing it away.
Yeah.
Does that feel like a moral victory?
I enjoyed the fact that it was the key item chest in Ordeals, and we have Czar and Files on commentary here.
Yeah, and you died, what, once or twice going through Ordeals just to get that Vorpal?
Twice.
Nice.
It was Death Touched, and then Fire Tooth to death, and then I was just like, all right, so long.
Well, we do have to keep things moving here, Ice. Any final thoughts on that race? It was definitely an interesting one. You guys put on a good show.
Somebody can send me some insurance for my fighter. He broke his ankle heading into Marsh Cave.
He's got the cast on. We'll have to go over and sign his cast. Try not to draw anything inappropriate on it.
From me, thank you, Czar and Files. Files, it's good to hear your voice. We need to have you back more for commentary, please. And thanks to Artea and Tyrannex, who I think tag teamed tracking. I hope you guys got some good plugs in for the spring tournament coming up. And thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you, ichbinmiah GG. It was a very entertaining race. Looking forward to more.
And if you're interested in more randomizer action, make sure you check out the links that have been spammed in the chat here. If you haven't already, check out the 5SC randomizer. Speaking of randomizers, coming up, we got ourselves some Zelda 1 randomizer coming up, I believe in about 2 or 3 minutes. So make sure you check that out because it is awesome. In the meantime, I've been Files. I'm joined by my good friend Czar. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next mission.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you, Speed Game, for hosting. Fiesel, our restreamer. And we'll see you with more races soon. Team Vorpal.